Welcome, kind and loving souls, to a intuitively led reading on the next 7 years for you through the Uranus and Gemini transit. So, to be very clear, I'm pretty beginner level when it comes to astrology and transits. I can understand the planets and their ruling energy and more general ideas, but I do have more experience pulling cards, so definitely cross-reference this with your own intuition and your own knowledge, and yeah, just kind of go with the flow. Definitely I can already feel that the energy is asking us to be more flexible and adaptable. And a personal message that I feel called to share is to be more kind and compassionate to yourself and focus more on yourself. Kind of drawing the focus inward rather than externally. So it's kind of like acts of service to yourself will help you grow the larger community around you. I also will say, if you do have any knowledge or experience on astrology transit specifically, please let me know how this fits in that, what you've already learned. So getting started, I'm gonna light this incense to cleanse the energy and the decks that I'm gonna be using today. So I set the intention here that this reading is clear and it reaches those who need it the most in this time. I can feel the sense of urgency or anxiety coming up in terms of maybe how things are gonna land for certain people, but the energy I want to give you from the realms and Mother Earth and just the unifying energy between all of us, the source is saying that everything's going to lead to a larger sense of clarity. So although you might have emotional, hope you can see this, there's a candle I lit over here, yes. Okay. Things are gonna kind of guide us into a direction of being more free and going towards our ultimate joy. I'm seeing in numerology the number 3, the number 2. Something about this is a beginning is coming up a lot as well. There's beginning energies that we're all going to be embarking on something new and something different. But yeah, I'm extremely interested in what comes out for you in terms of the guidance for the next 7 years. That's both a short and a very long time. In the idea of the world, the universe, I think 7 years, in the spirit realm, I think 7 years is a very, very short time. And I think for us, human Earth, we feel everything so intensely down here that it feels like a very long time. But I think it will read as more of an energy around I'm so glad I did that work. So yeah, I'm so glad I did that work. I'm so glad that I took that time to take care of myself and go inward when I had the chance to. So those are the messages. I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of rambling, but we're gonna let it be. If you are interested in any of the cards I'm using, I usually will say them as I'm using them. And yeah, if you're ever curious and you're interested, just leave a comment and I'll get back to you. I'm still a very small channel, so I can respond to everyone basically if need be. I'm shuffling and organizing the decks while we kind of set up. This might be a longer reading. Okay. Cleansing the deck. Okay. I'm calling in my guides to join me and be present during this reading to give the utmost, highest, and relevant and clear guidance, information as a channel for anyone watching for their next 7 years under the influence of the Uranus in Gemini transit. The intention is to lift anxiety and ground, ultimately giving a message that sticks and comes around as advice through and through these transits and any other energies that come up in this time. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get started. I'm pulled to do the herbal astrology deck. So let's start with that. What are your next 7 years looking like? Under the Uranus in Gemini transit. Cards will flip. We're gonna let them fly out when they're ready. 809, 811 could be relevant. August, September, and November could be relevant to you. 8 weeks. The 8th year. Shuffle now. I'll just pull from the top. Wow. So we have number 16, Journey. A few. I will take these. Thank you. Thank you, guides. So we have tobacco in reverse. Yep, that makes sense. Ginseng, yep. Magician. Lion's mane, yep. And hibiscus, joy. This is very direct. I'm gonna just say that. I have in my very quick research about this transit, I did hear that airborne illnesses are going to be more prevalent, and taking care of the lung health is very important. So we have tobacco in reverse here, and it kind of is reminding me of the idea of just being more mindful of your consumption. I myself am navigating the idea of health and what we're fed and where these beliefs come from. But this is a very direct message that I'm applying to myself, whereas I will give that to you, is just being very mindful of what you're intaking when you're inhaling. So here there's lion's mane, and lion's mane is a very good regenerative source. Ginseng is another regenerative source for your skin and your cells. Lion's mane you can ingest. Hibiscus is another herb, another flower that you can brew with tea, like brew into tea. Lion's mane, hibiscus, and ginseng can all be combined in a drinking form. And you can also smoke it, right? And you can also burn it as protection around you. So, just having a little water. This is an important energy just in general around being very mindful about your breath and your lungs and where you're rooted. This transit feels like it's going to require a lot of grounding from you, a lot of earth energy, and a lot of internal. You can't rely on anything outside of you. That is definitely something that we've been kind of moving towards, right? So there's an internal idea of offering yourself the best relief for you. And what used to work before might not work the same way now. You might be looking into different ways of healing yourself and grounding yourself. So this can look like where you used to maybe run to release your energy, and now you're coming into grounding meditations, and lowering your cortisol, so your stress levels and your hormones, and balancing it. So it might be softer, like I'm seeing swimming, I'm seeing like long hiking, like long leisurely walks, but like not too much intensity. I'm seeing the movement away from muscles and like building big, and like dancing coming up. So like more lean energy, in the sense of like, this has nothing to do with like body shape specifically, more into the focus is going to be more on like calisthenics, I think, and aerobics and something around that line. I'm seeing Pilates, and I'm seeing gymnastics and Cirque du Soleil routines. So I think more like free movement, again, grounding through allowing your body to move in an adaptable and flexible way. Flexibility is big here. So I'm not seeing necessarily yoga, because yoga feels very still spiritual, and you would have to focus your energy very intensely, and I think that wouldn't work, because I feel Gemini in an erratic way needs to be able to like kind of go anywhere, bounce off the walls kind of feeling. So more of that all of that could be applicable. And if you're thinking of it, if you're thinking about going into like a different type of stretching routine, or a different, like moving from an high intensity to a different type of workout routine, literally, then this message would say like you're gonna gain a lot if you put your energy into that and invest yourself into that. So that's just off top what I'm feeling in the beginning. Let's move to the answers simple. Let's see what the cards have to say here. I'm just organizing to give us a little bit more room. Okay. So what other energies are relevant for this Uranus and Gemini transit for those was watching. So we have reach out. Here, this is what this little card looks like. Oh, and it was in reverse, but I felt that it's, yeah, I'm gonna just explain that later. I'm gonna let it be. We have like the energy of say no in reverse. Nose is itching for those intuitive tingles. And the number 28 and 36, 3s and 6s, like I said. Dare to be happy in reverse. Are we just giving... Oh, maybe this deck was flipped, but that's okay. I'm still going to keep it. Numbers 16, 18, 40, 14, 24, 28, 26, and 36. So 6 and 4 and 8 is relevant here. We have, that's interesting and funny, clean up your mess. Oh, that makes sense. And we have lend a hand. And we have stop. Okay. And could I please, with the Rider-Waite, gain some clarity? Thank you. On these cards, please. Dare to be happy and reach out. Say no, clean up your mess. Lend a hand and stop. Oops. Okay. So this is in reverse. Okay. Nine of Wands in reverse. Knight of Wands upright. Lots of Wands. Two of Swords in reverse. Ten of Cups and Ace of Wands. This is how they want to stay on the angle. And one more clarifier for this last row, Knight of Wands, for the Uranus and Gemini transit. Thank you. Guys. We have Ten of Pentacles and I'm going to say upright. Kind of came on side. Okay. Top of the deck, Ten of Swords in reverse. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Cups. Okay. Wow. Seven of Swords. Okay, cool. So, off top, I am seeing a difference in boundaries here. Something specifically about where your energy is going. What I'm seeing, how I'm seeing that, is we have the Three of Wands in reverse and the Two of Swords in reverse, right? This goes into the concept that there's a lot of focus that's been on like traveling, on moving out and expanding your horizons, but in a very like, let's say you've been unsure about it for a really long time. This is gonna kind of take you out of that indecisive energy and force you into making a choice, around where you want to like invest yourself and invest your energy. With clean up your mess and say no and lend a hand, it's really giving me this energy that there's going to be a really intense like vibrant is the word that's coming up, movement around protecting Mother Earth and protecting our resources, and very much like being more considerate around I'm seeing like flowers and wildflowers and bird feeding and gardening, and more like a resurgence in recognizing our seeds and like the importance of that, and all that comes with, I think, the idea of like massive change and kind of restructuring where resources go. So that, first of all, like I've been feeling called to like pick up litter around me, like, garbage on the ground. Like, I've been so called to just go around every time I'm on a walk or I'm commuting, to have a garbage bag on me and just pick up and start cleaning the earth a little bit. And I feel like that is relevant here, where it's going to be these internal moments of just saying, like, you know what, I'm over wanting to go so far and expand and go into these new lands where I'm not even giving my attention locally. And the local energy really does deserve that effort, so it's not idolizing anymore a far away reality. It's bringing the truth in a way and cutting through illusions around oops, sorry everyone. Cutting away, yeah, those illusions. So my guides are saying there's a more important energy here as well, where 222 is relevant, and 15, where they're saying you're going to be able to go for what you want more easily, and you're going to be presented with a lot more options. And with the Ten of Swords specifically, I'm getting that there's a future where you're not bringing in your past like dust basically. So you're leaving certain lessons, certain people, and certain energies in the past, and it's gonna stay in the past. You're not gonna have to worry about the idea of it kind of bubbling back up. Let's see, I want more tarot, but we do have fun that was sliding off over here next to me, and we have celebrate you, and we have keep dancing. Look at this, isn't that so fun? Keep dancing. I was just talking about that. And yeah, we have, these are nice cards, eh? So we have 333 and 2333. 2336 is relevant. And this is 51, which comes down to 6. Turn back, yeah. So it kind of gives there's gonna be this emphasis on the fact that your mind is kind of going in a lot of different directions, and there's an overwhelm, and not to move too fast because it will risk your grounding and your abundance. So we're making sure that our mind isn't taking the lead, and we're always coming back down into our heart and focusing on our root. A reader on TikTok during the reading said, you're breathing from your chest, you're not breathing from your butt. And that is something that is kind of applying here, where you want to have fun, you want to not overly analyze anything, and you want to keep yourself very free, because if not, then yeah, you're definitely going to get yourself, you're going to go too far into a thought process. And you want to make sure that you're filtering everything through an extreme like mesh of discernment, basically, where you're saying like, does this actually apply for me? Because information is going to be kind of all everywhere. So the grounding has to happen first for you to be able to intake anything. And if you're already on a high level, and your mind's kind of racing and you have crazy thoughts, then yeah, you're going to have to go ground through fun activities. You're going to have to go ground through something, bringing in and evoking joy and light back into your mind, right? So just keeping that in perspective as well. Anything else? We have the King of Wands. Wow, a lot of... And Nine of Cups. Wow. We have a lot of fire energy here. We have the Hierophant, the Emperor, the Five of Pentacles, the Page of Swords. Clarify Emperor and Hierophant, please, for me, for Uranus and Gemini, 7 years. Upcoming energy. Okay, so we have Judgment in reverse. And Knight of Swords. Wow, okay. Good one. Doesn't want to be upright or reversed. Emperor wants to be reversed. Okay. I need another clarifier on this one. I mean, the Queen of Wands in reverse. Okay. And can I get a clarifier for this Five of Pentacles and King of Wands, please? We have the Two of Wands upright. Next 7 years, Uranus and Gemini is the intention here. I want something very clear, okay? I want clarity. Okay, Five of Wands in reverse. And okay, we have 7 Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the Five of Wands in reverse. Okay, and I landed right above here. Okay, cool. Okay. So, what I can say from what I'm gauging is, because we are talking about the next 7 years, right? So, it's giving me that if I were to read it this way, rather than this way, you are basically preparing yourself to become a leader in some way. This is specific to the people watching, not necessarily everyone. Where you're moving into recognizing that even in the foundation that you created, where things were kind of shaky and you may be starting the journey in a very planning phase. Like what I'm seeing here in the Two of Wands and the Five of Pentacles upright is that you've like kind of like manifested, or you've set your intention for receiving support, you receiving help. And there's a definite yes here, in the sense that you will be, honestly, by the end of it, and even in the middle of it, like let's say 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you're gonna put yourself on a pedestal here, where you're moving from this space, the Two of Wands and Five of Pentacles, into the King of Wands and the Nine of Cups, honestly. There's this transformation around like your confidence here and the energy within you that is a fireball of life and creativity. And it's also giving that you're gonna feel like wise, or like very, very specific here on the sense of like wisdom and ancestral lineage and taking your throne. Like you're no longer looking for things in places, other places. You're not going outside of yourself for support or giving yourself that contentment. The way that you set your boundaries, the way that you focus on your flexibility and your adaptability and your open-mindedness, all of that is going to lead into this like phase that will kind of set you up for life in a way, because I'm seeing with the Hierophant here, Judgment in reverse and Five of Wands in reverse, I'm seeing like you're not in for a rude awakening. You're not in a page. We have the Page of Swords in reverse, and to me this is a positive. It's giving that you're growing out of this energy of curiosity and you're growing into the energy of like you're aware of you're coming from a very grounded perspective. And the Judgment sitting in reverse below is giving, with the Five of Wands in reverse and the Page of Swords in reverse together, it's giving like you don't care, or you're moving away from conflict around how you are being portrayed, or you're not in this like rebirth. Rather, you're sitting confidently in your like understanding, you know what I mean, by the end of it. And then here we have like the Emperor in reverse, and to me again this is giving directing your energy is really important here, because you're not necessarily at the end of the 7 years gonna be the Emperor. You are gonna be the King of Wands. There's still a lot of work to do, and your energy is like shifting here away from like you're feminine. Weird. This is so weird. Something about the fact that clarify this section here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that you are, yeah, there's going to be a lot of struggles here around your expression and what you feel is a good leader. This is so weird. And I think where you're going to struggle the most is you're going to get yourself wrapped up in the fact that you're not where you want to be, right? But this transit is asking you to end the cycle and be true to yourself and know that everything is like a mirror. So whatever you want outside of you, if you want a counterpart, for instance, then you're gonna have to like give yourself the energy around being that provider for yourself, giving yourself whatever you need. And it's also saying that being okay with where you're at is really important here, because you have to be okay with your feminine and your receiving here. So let me see if there's any more guidance that is relevant here. I'll go back. The Hermit. Yeah, this is okay. Please clarify this Empress and Emperor in reverse. And look, all these Queens in reverse as well. 2 of Pentacles. And I think that's okay. Yeah, that's what I was feeling initially. I was feeling that you are gonna struggle with maintaining the one of the things that the universe is saying is when you're struggling with your balance within yourself around your masculine and feminine, which to me, I'm gonna just say your doer and your receiver, basically. So the part of you that overdoes and the part of you that over receives, like you lay back. Here it's saying to tap into receiving mode, you have to really take care of yourself internally and be okay with taking really small steps that lead you into a larger empire, where you're going to be very abundant. But the 7 years isn't going to be the cycle at the end where you're going to receive like your final. And they're saying in a way because you're going to learn in this cycle specifically how to balance the energies that will allow you to move into that world, right? Because I'm seeing the Queens in reverse specifically, it's saying that there is this kind of ability to lose it all. So they're not going to give it all right now. So this is kind of giving, if you're looking to purchase a home, right? This is giving, you're not going to be able to purchase the home in 7 years because there's maybe you have a lot of like work still to do in your own finances, and there's other things that you can think about in the meantime to prepare yourself for that home ownership mentality, while also acknowledging that the world around you is shifting with you and being, so this is the adaptability and flexibility around where you're giving your energy and always coming back to yourself. So if you're scared of losing your resources, or if you really want to accomplish a really crazy goal, and I don't mean crazy as in like bad, I mean it as in you've kind of gone above and beyond and you have this goal for yourself, give yourself honestly the adaptability and flexibility, because you might end up somewhere better. Like you might not be a homeowner, but you might have traveled within your community to a bunch of lakes and hiking trails and waterfalls, and then you became a runner, or you became a dancer, or you became like your endurance was really great and all of those things, right? So like you'll still have a lot of accomplishments to look forward to, but these aren't going to be material, okay? These are going to be mental, these are going to be internal, and these are going to be in preparation for any of the goals that you have for yourself. Especially if you're like, I'm giving, if you're under 50, your guides are saying there's so much time for you. I'm so sorry to laugh, but it's giving like, regardless of what age you're at, you have so much time to experience the luxury and the wealth and the abundance. But first you have to be okay with holding the information between both realms of knowing how to take care of yourself and the energy around you so that you can be the leader. And there's definitely growth here, okay? But there is the emphasis of, like, again, going back to the beginning of the reading where I said the mushroom and the ginseng, it's more about like herbal medicine very generally is such an intuitive energy, and it's more feminine. It's grounding with the earth, and it's learning about these energies that are given to us ancestrally or through earth knowledge, and then tuning into our body and then knowing what we need, right? So you can't have the empire if you don't take care of yourself. That is true. And you have to take care of the part of you that deserves nurturing and softness. And this transit is going to give you a great foundation to navigate how you balance them and kind of balance these parts of yourself and these aspects of yourself. And I want to see, like, what is the result? What will your life look like 7 years from now? Remaining flexible, of course, to the future, but where are you heading, right? And what is the guidance? So where are you heading for the next 7 years through the Uranus? Thank you, Gemini. Where are you heading? One more card, please. If not, then more. And then we have, what is the guidance for the next 7 years for those who are watching? Oh, lots of guidance. Poppy, yeah. Some more guidance, universe guides for the Uranus and Gemini transit. Okay, so we have for where are you heading? Yeah. They want me to read these oracle cards upright today, just to keep it simple. We have grace and we have lavender for where you're heading. And this gives you're heading into more tempered waters as long as you remember to ground. This is giving me, you know how there's the word outpour? This is giving inpour. This is the inner healing. And lavender is going to be really helpful for bringing that anxiety down. And that's such a simple medicine. That's such a simple herbal medicine here that's coming up as a beautifully, like, potent guide. And yeah, honestly, simplifying your energy. It doesn't have to be extravagant. I think that's what is important here. With the guidance with Poppy and Cat's Claw, it's giving that your dream realm and resting and being will help you with the changes that are coming up, and be okay with your energy around the fact that you need pain relief, or if you need, I keep saying, like, when your anxiety goes high, or when your thoughts are racing, or when you have no direction and you've overdone in one area, right? Then you're gonna have to overdo in another to kind of balance that out. So really important to not overindulge and simplify your routines and save. If you're gonna, like, you might have random deposits, let's say, right? You work a summer job that you make a lot from, and then you want to invest that wisely. You want to take care of yourself and set yourself up, right? So that's coming up as well. Like, temper funds your funds, like, literally your money. Temper your relationship with the bank, your relationship with your debt, your relationship with yourself, in terms of the things that are structural, right? So these are the things that are going to be focused on. And rely on the fact that you can't hold everything by yourself, and that you do need, when you're kind of going into overload with joy, make sure that in your season of rest and, let's say, sadness, if there is going to be moments where you're going to have hard times, right? Don't forget about the fact that what you've been working towards, right? So this is make a journal and a list of all the things that you accomplished and all the things you're grateful for. All right? Because it will help you recognize how far you've come. So overall, respect your season and go with the flow. And you don't have to, it's not like you don't have to tread lightly. You are on solid ground, and you have to remind yourself that, okay? You're not somewhere far up on a tightrope, walking on vines. You're grounded. Put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. And know that you're doing work ancestrally. This isn't necessarily about it's not about your money or your finances in the way of empire building. Like I keep saying, this is about your ancestral, spiritual, inner growth, your healing, your mental clarity, your reliance on yourself, your self-endurance, your flexibility, adaptability, your communication with yourself. All right? Thank you so much for watching, and I deeply hope this was helpful for you. I dearly hope that this was helpful. And come back to it if you need any support. I wish the best for your next 7 years, and many more to come after that. Thank you, thank you, thank you.